Welcome to Roseflower Radio, the show that goes behind the scenes of your favorite independent artists and creatives. I'm your co-host, Micah Wilson.
And I'm your co-host, Finlay. With us today, a close friend of the channel. He's been on the streams. He featured in a stream. He's been watching the streams. Now he's here in person. It's 3lijah.
What up?
So wait, off the jump. Is it 3lijah?
Dude, okay, so that's like my friends just coined that. I feel like it's just there, so like people tend to say it, but that's not
because 3lijah already just sounds like Elijah, so it's just like it's not a far jump.
Yeah, so like literally when I named myself that, it was just because I wanted to be like different or whatever. But I gave it a meaning like shortly after, because I feel like with like my music or whatever it is, I feel like that's the flip side of like myself. So it's just like an E flipped around, you know, like it's the part of me that's like not like me, just a normal day-to-day human being. That's like what I talk about in my music. So I gave it a meaning after it was just like something random.
Dude, I feel like I do that all the time, where I'll just be like, oh my gosh, like I just like write the most like lame verse. Well, hang on. I write just like the stupidest verse, and then afterwards I'm like, dude, it has so much meaning. It's like, no, it doesn't.
You're saying that his name is lame?
Yep.
I appreciate that. No, it was definitely overcompensating for the fact that it was lame.
No, I'm just playing with you. Is there a reason why you decided to flip the 3? Like, before you did that, or was it just like a...
I don't know. I just felt like the plain name was just too bland. But yeah, I did also...
I don't think it's a flip 3. It's just a 3, you know?
It's a flipped
E.
We said flip 3.
You said flip 3, yeah.
All right, guys. I'm so sorry. All right, my fault. So a flipped E, which is a 3, is a reason why you did that.
But yeah, I don't care what anyone calls me, like 3lijah, Elijah, like I don't know, it all works the same. You know?
The other thing I think is funny is, and I've been a big advocate for this as of recently, Elijah.
Yeah, no, I say my name wrong, like legitimately, because I tell everyone that I'm Elijah, but that would just imply that my name's like Elijah. It's Elijah. It's just like, I don't know, bro. Ever since I said my name, that's how it came out.
You got peer pressured into saying your name wrong.
Dude, 100%, yeah. Like, someone probably told me one day, like, nah, this is the right way to say it. And then I was like, all right, like, I'll stick with it.
I guess I'd be missing this my whole life.
No, that's super funny.
Yeah.
I will say, so I want to talk to you because I feel like you're a really cool, like, starting, like, building block for this, because you were one of the first people to come onto the stream.
Pause.
Sorry. That was just funny to me. I have the brain of a 12-year-old. But no, but you were one of the first people to like submit your music to the stream that we had. Like when we were first just starting out, like trying to figure out what we were doing. You were like, "Hey man, can I play you something?"
Yeah.
And like we were all like instantaneously hooked.
Yeah.
You know, like where were you in your life at the time? And like, just talk to us about like what you were doing. It can be as deep as you want it to be. But
no, that's actually a great question because it's dope. I wanted to like say this whenever I had the chance to like get a podcast with you guys. But so like I've like went through this with you too, Finlay. But like there was a point where I was just like, it was like kind of a little past COVID, where I was just like making music or whatever, doing stuff in my room, and just felt like very like dull. Like I wasn't doing enough. Like I was watching other people like countlessly on TikTok, like scrolling, just like making music, putting it out, distributing, and I was just sitting there like I like, why am I not like doing the same thing? And then funnily enough, I'm scrolling through and I see like Finlay pop up on my TikTok, and he's like, "Are you an independent artist? Well, come here and share your music," you know? And I was like, okay, like why not? And then I submitted my music to you guys, but I never got to share this properly, but I don't know like who the quote's from, but it's something about like it only really takes like one person to make you feel like good enough in comparison to like a million people or whatever. And I think like me submitting my music to you guys and then finally getting a response from somebody, because I had never done that, was like kind of my like ticket to be like, oh, like I could do this if I wanted to. And so like I never got to thank you guys for that, but yeah, like at that time when I first released, like sent my music into you guys, like I was like in such a lost state of like what I was doing. And I feel like now I've like learned a lot about like how to grow into like distributing my music or like finding myself as an artist just from like just submit your music to Roseflower, bro. Like they give you, I got feedback on mixing, like everything like through you guys, and I've grown like a lot as an artist, and it's a lot like thanks to everyone in the room that's like done a lot for me. So yeah, like it's like genuinely so dope to like be a part of it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you guys later.
Elijah, where can everyone find you?
No, well, I mean, I've said this to you before. For those who don't know and you aren't that familiar with Elijah, you need to be. Not just musically, but just who he is as a person. And I feel like you were like what came from you submitting your music, just kind of taking a chance, what blossomed into like a totally awesome friendship. You know, not just for me, but like everyone in here. Like, it's fun to like, I feel like what's really cool is like, I've gotten to know your story more and more. And it just hypes me up, which we don't have to go at each other like sucking each other's dicks the entire podcast.
No, you do. You guys, go on.
You're the only one.
You want to watch? What do you want? Damn, bro. No, I was kidding. But, no, man, it's just like, it's dope too because hearing, you know, like where you're at, like musically and stuff. And something I want to talk about is your songwriting ability, because that's stupid. I don't know, and like a good stupid, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how you're able to, you're the quickest I've ever met anyone when it comes to like getting a melody and it's there. Was that something that you've always had, or was that something that just kind of came out of nowhere?
I mean, music's in the family for sure. Like all of my siblings are playing an instrument. My mom sang choir in church like her whole life. So I feel like growing up, it was just always like music in the house or like melodies somewhere. But yeah, when it comes to like production, just hearing something, I don't know why, but I have like a click in my head, and it's not always good. Like in no way, shape, or form am I saying that like I'm like a genius where I could just pop up like these like amazing courses or whatever. But
I'm saying you are.
Yeah, no, you heard it here first. Bro. Elijah is a genius,
and he's hot-headed too.
But I do believe like it's just like this thing in me to where like I could hear a production line, like whether it's like a bass line or just like a drum line, and like come up with a good melody enough to then write over it. And then I think what we were talking about, even the name, like finding a meaning to something as it's written after almost feels more natural to me, because whatever's coming out like in the moment that I'm hearing the production, I want to follow that, but at the same time like dial in to like what that emotion is and then try to write around that. Like that's my best way to explain the process of how I like try to write my music. But then at other times it's like doop-a-dap-doo, freestyle, and like, you know, like
doop-a-dap-doo, that's
crazy. You take a piece of bread and ham and cheese.
Oh my goodness. we dropped some bars. That's so sick, dude. And I feel like I wish I had that ability. I feel like it's one thing that I've been working on, you know? But I feel like to you it comes so naturally, and that's something that's really awesome. And I just like think like it's cool to see it, because I'm like, I'm trying to be like that, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you see some dude like totally just riz up. Actually, I'm just gonna stop talking. My example's just like I'm learning, you know what I'm saying? No, we're good. I'm evolving.
Well, I
Micah too.
I could bounce off of you, because I feel like there's a weird like flip side to it where like I feel like I'm afraid to like present like a vulnerable side of me from like a day to day, just like chopping it up, sitting down, talking to you guys or whatever. But it just like fleshes, like fully comes out with music. And I don't know, like what, there's something about like just production and sound that brings out like that emotion in somebody, or at least in me to like write that music. But I don't know, it's hard, because when you're writing it, like you almost feel like you're giving away like that part of you that you do not want to show to anybody else.
Totally.
But you do at the same time, because like that's you full and full.
It's authentic.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's a really like long process with songwriting, but I feel like melodies and everything, like fleshing out a song would take like an hour, but like fully finding the meaning and like loving the song, that's what takes like the longer process. Yeah. And also living too, like just like gaining experiences and like going out doing things with people. Like I feel like that's when your best music is written, because like you're just so present in that moment that like those things are just coming out of like but like you know what I mean? Yeah.
He paused himself.
I love how you worded it, coming out of you pause, and it's just so like fluid. Pause. That's awesome. No, man, I feel like that's something that I feel like a lot of artists need to know, because like you can have so many dudes like Gary V type like sort of mentality sort of thing where I just like I have to outwork everyone and I'm like, you know, like on my grind, which is good, like that's important, but you also have to live because you got to have like you have to have something to write about, you know? And if you're just like the only thing you know is like I'm in the studio, I work like from here to here and this is all I ever do.
Yeah.
I like genuinely I feel like the music is going to be subpar from like a songwriting perspective just because like there's no sustenance, you know?
Sorry, I'm asking you a question now, but like do you feel like artists,
you want to sit here?
Yeah, let's swap. Welcome back to Roseflower Records. Today we have a guest, Micah.
Micah, how are you?
I've never done this before.
No, yeah,
I'm like super scared.
I've only
This is
been
your
here
first
for like
time on a podcast.
Yeah, actually. I can't wait to edit this later.
I've only been here for 10 minutes, but this does feel wrong.
Yeah, I don't like looking this way. It's totally different.
Like I feel swap.
I have a follow-up question with all of this that we're talking about. And this is actually something I've wanted to ask you, but I've never done it before. So I want to get your input on this.
Oh, damn.
I've noticed a lot of people when they hear your voice for the first time, the first thing they'll say is like, yo, you sound like Breakins. Or like, yo, you kind of sound like Aries or whatever, you know? Because you just kind of have that like sort of flow, like sort of like you have the same like tonality and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's the like the quaking that in
quaking.
my voice. You know what I'm talking about? Like the low end like shivering at
The
the
constant terror.
The constant terror. Yeah.
This man is petrified for his life on the mic.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like,
does that affect you? That's what I was just gonna get
the comparisons.
Yeah,
I think it's cool. I don't ever want to be like, oh, I'm this guy or something. Like, I feel like you can definitely tell that you're pulling inspirations from like different people. But no, yeah, I appreciate the compliments. I don't think that's ever like a negative thing though. Like I never take it bad when somebody's like, oh, you sound like this person, you sound like that person, because it's like, at least I'm sounding like something like decent, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I don't know if I take that like
Have you
negatively.
ever been compared to someone and you're like,
I
what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you ever had one where you're
not like singing
you're
wise, but
wrong.
have you been compared as like a person? Like somebody's like, you look like this guy, and you're like, what the like, no, like, that's an insult that I look like this person.
Okay, say it, and Micah can give us an A/B. So who have you been compared to?
Okay, so it's just people with really big noses, bro. To be honest, like that's like it, bro. Like it's fucked, but it's the truth, bro. It's just like if this dude's got a big nose, they're like, yeah, you look like him. It's like stereotypical as fuck, bro. That's unfair.
Yeah, bro, that's fucking...
So Pinocchio, I was gonna ask you this follow-up question. No, I'm sorry.
My nose just gets longer.
I'm just
No, these comparisons don't hurt me.
No, I'm fine, guys. It's just like
swiveling his nose, just like knocking shit over. It's like, damn, bro. That's so funny.
But I feel like I think we skipped over quite a bit here.
Yeah, sorry, we've just been shooting
Mike
shit.
is just so excited, bro. He's
Yeah,
got a
man.
homie in the right chair. So I mean, but where did the music come from? You mentioned you came from a musical family. When did you decide that like, yo, I'm gonna start like making music and like writing for myself? And like, was that over the pandemic? You mentioned you only started releasing.
So I got my first Mac in 2013.
Let's go.
And I just had like GarageBand on there or
Tim
whatever.
Cook, baby.
Man.
But yeah, so I just had like GarageBand or whatever, and I was just like throwing loops on there, making like random stuff. But I watched like all of my siblings go through this like phase in their life where they all tried music. So I had a sister who actually had a recording company for a little bit, and she was just doing like Hispanic music kind of in the Inland Empire. And I watched her like go through it, like enjoy it, like kind of like, I don't know, ride that process. But she sang as well. And then my other sister plays guitar. My other sister plays the trumpet. My brother does sound engineering for video games. So like, I almost felt like I had to pick something up, you know?
Yeah.
Like I was like, I can't be the only child that's like, does nothing or like
It's
just
all
whatever.
peer pressure, man.
It's
the
all-
name
yeah,
was
it's
peer
all peer-
pressure. The career was peer pressure.
But well, that's the funny thing about it is like, I never picked up like a proper instrument. Like I'll play guitar here and there. I'll play drums here and there. But I never settled on like one instrument. So none of my siblings had ever done production as far as like, you know, going like getting samples, like putting a beat together, like making production like that. They had all done like acoustic work at the time. So I figured that was my avenue to like try something different. So probably when I was like 16, I released my first song, and it was a diss track on this girl at my school. It was so messed up. Like I had to private it off SoundCloud. Like it was really bad.
You didn't delete it though. You privated it.
No. It's private.
So we could get a hold of it.
Oh, we can get a hold of it. Okay. I'll throw it on like a stream one day or something. It's god awful. It's so bad.
Why did you make a diss track about her?
Dude, it's just like this long story, but like,
damn, he just goes, shit, man.
I knew this one was coming.
For legal reasons, we can't talk about it now.
He signed an NDA. Like,
how deep? What'd you say on this diss track, bro?
No, but like that was like I posted it on my Snap story, and it just got like 3,000-4,000 views, like in 2 days.
Wait, your Snap story?
Yeah, like everyone from my school saw it, and like the girl went to my school. Yeah, and it was just like. It was like the craziest thing ever because I was like, all right, like I just made a song, but it's also really bad, so I should take it down. But like 5,000 plays, like
we going up, baby.
But no,
did you get any like backlash for it? Did you?
Not until way later, like because at first it was just mad funny, like because everyone at school was like, dude, like what is like this is
because you're just a bully, yeah. That's
well, yeah, and like at the time, like we were all like 14, 15, it was just like whatever, but. No, like looking at it like a year after, I was like, okay, it's like kind of messed up. Like, just get rid of it. But
can you drop one bar that you said in it right now? Just like, what's the like level?
There's gotta be
like,
one bar.
I literally like.
You smell like cottage cheese or something like.
Dropped it. I said like fuck a person named and then like the person's name. I don't know. I just said like bad. It was stupid, bro. It was like talking about like just being ugly and like. Lame and shit. I know it was, but like it was.
That would hurt me.
No, dude, I was bully. I was bully for sure at that time. It was bad. I'm trying to get past this point. We're
gonna keep you here.
There's a progression story. Like I'm not just that.
And then I just made music, and ever since then, I just like.
And then after that, it's just I just started.
My life's going great. Like it's awesome. I don't know where she is. Hopefully, she's still doing horrible.
No, yeah, but no. After that, we talked. I like DM'd her, and I was like, "Hey, like it's just jokes," and she was like, "Yeah, it's funny, like whatever, like we'll get over it." And then I just kind of started releasing other stuff because I noticed that I had like some people listening to what I did, but it was just different things. Because the first song I released was just rap music, but this was like. I was singing the next song, and then the other song was like some like hyper pop stuff. Like I was just trying different things. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't until I really like started finding myself, I guess, like my sound, until I started sending music in. I really feel like to you guys, because like Teenage Drama was like my first like fuck yeah, like that's a good song. I'm so proud of it. Like this is what I want, and that was the first song I sent in to you guys. Mm-hmm. And then since then, I feel like writing for me has just been such like a great time because like this time in my life, like being in college and just meeting new people, like has just brought out like so much as far as the writing. Like, dude, I have like 200 songs just like in my notes, just of like things that like I jot down through the day that like hopefully get fleshed out into ideas, you know? But all that to say, it's like, wow. I started honestly just like not as a joke, but almost just like, I don't know what I want to do, but I know I want to do this. And I think I like grew into songwriting and like singing more as my like passion in like artistry, opposed to like picking up like a guitar and being like the guitar player or the production major in that scenario. Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. I feel like not a lot of people can say that they were like writing diss tracks and then like immediately being like, girl, I love you, you know, like going to like a totally different thing. Like, was there like, did you get feedback from kids in high school or whatever? Were they like, yo, this is crazy?
Dude,
or like,
I would show my friend, so I had my friend Ulysses, and like he was the only friend I had that I would show all of my stuff to every time. This shit sucks. Like he was like, this is awful. Like this is not good. But like, I liked it though, because it's almost like this is the friend that's telling me like, all right, like I want it to be good, but it's not yet, you know? And I also think too, like, I didn't go from like just like writing diss tracks to like I'm like singing songwriting, like just two completely different places in my life. Like I feel like I wouldn't have been able to write music correctly at that point because I had to go through a few things to like put me in the spot where like I feel like I'm more in touch with like myself as a whole to be able to write the correct kind of music and put out what I want to put out as like my message or like what it is I'm feeling like in that moment, you know? Because like a stupid diss track about like whatever was just for fun. Like I'm figuring it out, but now it's like I know that there are things I want to talk about, and it's just how I have to flesh it out and organize it to say it the correct way to like my audience.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You touched on Teenage Drama. That was the first song we ever heard from you. Did you produce that?
I did the drums, which are just like splice drums.
So you just dragged.
So I just drag and drop drums. Yeah.
No. You're forgetting he typed in that search bar, bro.
I did. I looked for those Pink Pantherist type beat drums. All right.
He searched by BPM, okay?
Producing, bro.
Yeah.
This man's the new insert. Wait, what's like any producer? Give me something, Finlay. Don't do this to me.
Which
Cole Bennett.
By the way, that's my question for you guys. Like, as production major, like, how do you feel about that? Because like
he keeps hitting us with the reverse card, bro.
Well, I want to know too. Because
you can see here.
No. This is just like how does that feel for you? Like as production majors, where like I feel like I could be like, oh yeah, I made a beat, but I just pulled a bunch of splice samples. You know, where it's like you guys are like on a MIDI, like actually doing the thing, fleshing.
I don't think it matters because. If someone goes on Splice and drags like a chord, a melody, like a pre-made drum beat, it sounds like a chord, a melody, and a pre-made drum beat dragged into like Logic or FL or whatever it is. You know, if you're not just using them for what they are, which is just building blocks, and you're just kind of throwing them in there, that's just what it sounds like. You know, it just sounds like a bunch of 8 bars or 16 bar loops that are just being dragged in. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, in my opinion, I don't use Splice at all. I'm a big avid fan of saying that.
He's above Splice.
I'm not like other girls, what I'm trying to say. But the whole thing is like, so I'm not, if it works, I can't bash you. Like, if you find the perfect thing and just throw it in, who cares? If it's perfect, it's perfect. Ultimately, like, the only hate you'll get are from other producers who are like, "Oh, you didn't sequence your drums, bro." It's not that deep, bro. What ultimately creativity is, and like what artistry is just like making something out of nothing. And you know, a lot of that can just be take this. You know, you take influence from like the world. What's the same as like taking this drum from like a Splice thing? Yeah. But my whole thing is, it's accessible. It's easy. So a lot of people can hop on and say they're producers just by dragging and dropping cymatics, you know, like Astro World type beat, whatever, you know, like just like basic stuff. But that's not going to like, if you want to make it a career and you want to like actually like develop some like blossom artistry out of it, you can't like I don't feel like that's going to get you to that place. If it is, I mean, that's the music that you're going
then
after.
You're like
just
the
like
greatest sample chooser of all time.
Yeah, and that's awesome. You know, like
that's a skill in itself.
Facts.
I mean,
That's
obviously,
really
that's
true,
what we're talking about right here. That's why
Yeah.
we're all on it, because this man can choose some samples.
Well, yeah, too, and like Finlay, you hit that on the dot too, because I just feel like we were talking to David about this in the studio the other day or yesterday, but like it's about arrangement, I guess, and so like Finlay was saying, like if you just throw it in and it just sounds like it's gonna sound like the samples, but like what you do with them, how you mix them, like all the plugins you put onto them is like.
Hit it with a little very speed, you know, a little low speed.
Pitch it down one semitone.
Some altar boy on there.
Change the game.
Altar boy.
No, but I mean, yeah. So that's my whole thing. Is like, I feel like that is something that is in the production community that's just lame as hell. Like, I don't know why like we're hating people who are dragging things in, because honestly, like the average listener doesn't know and doesn't care.
Yeah,
and that's ultimately like that. That's all it needs to be. Is like, if the listener likes the song, then you're winning as an artist.
Then you're good.
Yeah, 100%.
So and again, like everyone's like, it's also hard too, because we're sitting in this age where we kind of started production like right before Splice happened, and like so a lot of us like came in like, and I'm talking about even like people before us. They like had to actually play drums, you know, and we have this like MIDI keyboard, and they're probably thinking the same thing, but it's like. Music's evolving, music's changing. Right. It's going to be more accessible.
How evolved until it's like too far evolved, though?
That's
You hear
when
that Drake AI?
That's when
dude?
you go to that's when you go to ChatGPT.
I
It's like, yo, give me
with my Leslie, you know what I'm saying? Which
Yeah.
It's such a good song. I'm
It
sorry.
is, dude.
It's
It's so
good.
crazy. Like that bar is amazing. Like I just want to know who the ghostwriter is. Like the person who laid
Wrote-
the
yeah.
actual lyrics out.
Okay,
for it.
conspiracy theory. It is UMG who made the song
Oh,
to get
what?
it up,
No.
to get it up, so then they can get the legislation to ban it. Otherwise, somebody else would have got to it first.
Holy shit.
That's why the song's so good. That's why.
Just whistle. Damn.
Which way? Was that Logan? It came from over there. Wait. Oh.
That was so funny. Sheesh. Just someone in the background.
Yeah,
Damn.
Micah, you gotta keep that. You gotta grab like the camera audio.
crank
or
up the audio, yeah.
Yeah. You gotta limit the shit out of one of our microphones.
It's just so loud.
Man, there's so much noise.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing about AI that to me, like I have no clue where it's headed is like, this is something I also want to talk about too, because I feel like as an independent artist, you know, everyone's kind of freaking out because we're like on the precipice of like the golden age of AI, you know, and like so many crazy things are happening. And, you know, we're just every basic podcast right now talking about it. And I don't want to be like redundant or whatever, but
Do it.
what do you feel like? Where do you think it's going? Is it scary? Is it good? Where do you see the future of AI in the music industry?
I mean, like you saw we were talking about the whole like writing stuff that's going on, just like at like Netflix and just
Strike,
yeah, man. I think it is scary, but at the same time, I also feel like as an artist, like artists should also recognize that like that's fake in and of itself, and so like why would I don't know. I don't think that it should be promoted in any sense. It sucks though because it's almost so good. Like we're all like saying like that Drake AI is like fire. Like I like that song, and I almost like a part of me almost hates myself for liking that song because I know that
I agree.
There's a person behind it that wrote those lyrics, whatever. But like the point of music is expressing yourself and the authenticity of yourself, and so like to rip that and recreate it. Because like AI in general is just a reproduction of things that are already put out, you know? So it's like, I don't know. I like that is scary for me because I feel like if it's just a constant rework of things that are already put out, like you could just tell a bot like, hey, make like 7 Aries songs when he just put out like Snake Eyes, which he's been working on for like 6-7 months.
For too long, bro. For too long.
Too long, yeah. I've seen that TikTok promo
Yeah,
way too much. But like yeah, all that to say, it's just like, but like that's the genuine like it took him that long. He perfected it for however long he did, and it came out that way. Like to see like something that could just push out 10 of those, and it's like maybe better or the same, but it's not real, is enough for me to just like kind of cut it. Like, you know, like if that Drake song ever came out on streaming platforms, I wouldn't stream it. Like, not that I'm going to make a difference or some shit, but like,
Good for you, man.
yeah, but just like, I think that that's going to kill a lot of authenticity. Like even like album work and album art, like just being like pushed out on Dolly and stuff. Like, I think it's like, there's two sides of the coin. It's really cool for people to be able to like access like high quality work, but also like it's just rip of somebody who already did it really well the first time, and now you're just like telling an engine to do it for you again.
Yeah.
You know?
I
feel like, yeah. Pause. I feel like.
There was nothing to pause. You feel like, yeah?
I feel like, yeah. Actually.
I feel like, yeah. Is that what you're saying? Just go, talk. Jesus Christ.
That was good, man. That was a good bit right there.
I know.
That was a good bit. No, I feel like I don't think AI is gonna get to a point where it's gonna be indistinguishable from a completely human-made thing, but I don't think that's where AI needs to go. I think it needs to. I was seeing this a lot. This was more of like in the context of videography.
Yeah.
Right now, everyone's thinking about it in like, oh, videography. AI is gonna take all of our jobs. Like,
Yeah.
no, videographers using AI are going to take the jobs of videographers
First.
not using it.
True.
And I think that's where it's going to end up. It's not going to be like, AI's taking my job. AI's taking all the songwriters' jobs. No, it's going to be songwriters who are using AI to their advantage are going to take the jobs away from songwriters who aren't using AI.
Yeah.
That's
That's
facts.
true.
You know, like it's the same thing as when like this happens every time there's like a massive breakthrough. Like Napster, Spotify came out. Music industry's over, guys. It's over. Wrap it up. You know.
Yeah, you're right.
The CD came out. It's over, guys. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. You know.
The vinyl came out.
Oh, God.
No more live music. What the fuck?
Exactly. Or like the radio came out. And they're like, fuck, no one's gonna want to see us live. And like, it's just not how it works. You know, the industry adapts. It changes. It modernizes. Maybe in the short term there are casualties, and that is unfortunate. And I'm not like, oh yeah, they should progress, baby. You know, like in this day and age, there's enough space, there's enough money, especially in entertainment, to go round.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like panic, like what's gonna happen with this AI. It's the same thing anytime another like massive, like genuinely game-changing breakthrough comes, and it's like, okay, how do we
Music 2.
Holy shit! The sequel.
Yes.
fuck.
Now hear me out. Open world, right? PvP. Yeah. Free for all.
online?
Can you customize
Online.
like your character?
Customize
and shit?
character.
Holy shit! Holy shit, dude!
Dude, I'm just a sine wave. Like, what the fuck?
I'm a square wave, bro.
Hey, man. How did already we just turn into beef and like created racism through like... I'm going to cut that part too. This is just the cutting episode.
This episode's gonna be 30 seconds
And
long.
music
by the
2
time,
has
like-
been canceled before
Creator
it even
of music
started.
2, Micah Wilson canceled for racism.
Racist slur.
Between
Whoa!
Sorry. Cut that part, dude.
I'm cutting all of this, bro.
what slur would you say to a sine wave?
Stop. I don't want to be that guy who's just, again, like saying the same thing that every podcast is saying. But in my response to, I think Finlay makes a good point about like how AI is going to, like, the people who are using it to their advantage. You know, good job, man. I'm proud of you. They are going to be the people who are getting the jobs, because I think everyone's kind of in this looming moment where we're like, AI is going to do this, and we're all just sitting waiting.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is like the humans are the ones that are like, we have the ability to sit here now. We're in this area where we can sit here now and be like, no, this is how it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying in the sense of like, everyone's freaking out, like waiting for AI to take over the world, when we just have the ability to like, actually like, let's turn this in a really positive route, you know? Because everyone's so fearful of it. If we can just make it, like, I don't know what I'm saying. Again, like, what does my one voice say?
Did you know that Open AI, the people who made ChatGPT, hired somebody who only job is to be in the server room with a bucket of water and be ready to throw the water over the servers if ChatGPT escapes?
What?
And
Are
then-
you serious?
and
Oh, is this real?
This is real, because they were like doing internal
Bucket guy.
They were doing so they
That
were
guy's
doing
gonna save our
internal
lives
testing.
one day.
They were doing the internal testing, and they asked ChatGPT, "How would you escape from our servers?" And it gave them a step-by-step. It would be like, I would duplicate myself. I would go here. I would go here. I would duplicate and save myself to all of your servers so you can't get rid of me. Then I would go here. And then the whole time, I would keep answering as normal, including answering your security questions in the way that I'm doing right now. And then, yeah, exactly. Like, it just, like, broke down. It was like, yeah, I could escape right fucking now, bitch. Like, and while I'm doing it, you wouldn't even know, because I'm telling you, I would continue playing normal, including answering these questions that you're asking me about my security right now.
Hey y'all, it's editing Micah here. I wanted to just make a quick note. I looked it up, and it's not true at all. Apparently it's just a modern hoax. So, sorry Finlay, great point. We appreciate it. But yeah, just wanted to make sure you guys weren't too scared. So, sorry, but back to the video. That's so crazy, dude. That's scary. Like, isn't it like wild that we're like, yeah, man, like we're on the innovation, like we're making so much dope stuff, and it's like, yeah, I could literally just like take over everything.
You
And,
would
like,
never know.
Yeah,
I think it's wild, like the cards you're drawn to, because like you've been born like 100 years ago or
know, I
some
think
shit,
it-
and
yeah.
like nothing would have been the same. Like your life would be so completely different. So it's like, it's interesting that we're living like in this time, but also to like your point, like how many times before have like people gone through like like this is gonna change everything, and like it's been good, you know?
Yeah,
yeah.
like things
so-
change, but at the end of the day, like,
I mean,
Like where everything, like it evens out.
you got to think about like,
Yeah.
dude, the railroads were probably like the craziest thing ever. Like when like trains started to exist, they're like
Horse farmers.
yeah, like the dude was like, no, it's a
Horses are
metal
like,
train, you know, like. Or like, like they were like, how am I gonna get my mail like in like 4 months now? You know, like instead it's gonna be like 3 months or whatever. But it's just like that's
3 months
for like a train to travel across.
How much faster? Like the horses aren't. You're breaking my brain right now, Micah.
What's the average? What's
is
the
all
horsepower
the
of
cut
a
right
horse?
There's been so much.
What's the horsepower of a horse?
I don't know who's.
Is it one?
You don't
Instagram
grow
is striking us
horses.
for misinformation.
Wait, is actually genuine
Do
question?
not ask that question again.
Does the horsepower have a horsepower of Does a horse have a horsepower of one?
We don't have Jamie Cam today, but Jamie.
Does a horse have a horsepower of one?
I think it's I feel like, but like horses are different sizes.
That's what I'm saying. What defines a horsepower?
Ponies run on pony power.
What about
Cut
like
that shit.
Back to you. So I know you're working. I know you said you have like 200 songs under your belt right now.
Well, like written, yeah. No,
Yeah.
Mac DeMarco, watch out.
I know, right?
Dude, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it was like 9-hour project.
Yeah.
How many songs was it?
200.
It was 200
but
actually.
There was only like 20 that had like vocals on them, I'm pretty sure. The rest of them were just like production.
Just vibes.
I mean, like, how long does that take? To,
Dude,
like,
some of them sound like Minecraft songs though, for a, like you like just ambient like nighttime,
Bum, bum.
like literally just like that.
that's so
So, I
cool.
mean, I think one of the funniest things was the just genuine range of reactions that I saw, even just within my friends. I had like people being like, "This shit is so fire!" Like Logan and I rode for like an hour 15 in the car. We listened to like just the whole time, just on shuffle or even just straight through. I'm not sure. And then at the same time, like literally, I get out the car, like go on a Snapchat story of one of my friends, and it's him like screen recording, scrolling through the album, and the caption is, "Why the fuck would you do this?"
Yeah.
Like it's just like the genuine like range of reactions that I think he got was
Yeah.
really, really interesting.
I've always wondered, like, I like when artists do that though. They kind of like just like make something like push the bounds a little bit. I know this guy who literally just released a single like every day. Like same sort of thing. He released a single like every day for a month straight. And you know, it did him well, but also like Spotify got overloaded because it was like, dude, we can't promote every single one of these songs. Like none of the songs like really did that well.
So was he uploading this DistroKid that day, or was he on a 2-week buffer?
I don't know how he did it. I don't know the guy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I think it's interesting too, because like what was, I mean, you're never gonna know the answer obviously, but like what was Mac DeMarco thinking to? No, like
What was
legit-
he thinking?
No, but like legit, like as an artist, like why did you feel like you needed to put? Because dude, honestly, like to move on to like a kind of like somber subject, like when I saw that, I was like, damn, like is he about to like end his life right now? Like is this like his like my goodbye? Like I'm letting go of everything, you know? Which obviously was not the case, but like I was kind of like thinking like I don't know, like I want to know the backstory behind like why you felt the need to just let go of everything that was just sitting there for a long time, you know?
Well, I feel like
I think that could
That
be
is the
reason.
answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just let it go, you know, because you could imagine like if you have all those songs that you believe are clearly good enough to release.
Yeah.
But he's sitting there like lying in bed at like what you said 20 of them have vocals.
Yeah, I believe so. Because all the ones that have like a name, like a song title to them, have vocals.
well, yeah. Well, I was just saying, like, I feel like that's it's a cool thing because like we all have like half finished songs, or we all have songs that are like, yo, this is dope, and then like we never went back to it, you know, like
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
such a cool concept, and then that was it. Like I think I have one with you, even, you know.
Yeah, I think it's like me, you, and Call. We
Yeah.
worked on it for like 4 hours.
Yeah,
we
and then
never
it's like,
came
bet
back.
this is lit, and then like that
yeah,
was
we
it.
never went back to it.
So it's like it's one of those things where I understand it, like just like here's everything.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
this is everything that I've made.
Yeah, and then it depends how like businessy you want to get. Because it could also be that like now all of this like nice ambient music is out. Sync licensing, video game licensing.
That's true.
Ad
Yeah,
licensing.
just throw it wherever,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like library for like background music licensing. You
Yeah.
know, like it depends how like what was he thinking you want to get, but it could also be like I can cash in on all these demos.
That's really
baby.
true, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we don't know. But do you have any plans of releasing anything soon?
All 200.
Yeah, so since I started like sending stuff into you guys, I was working on a project throughout my course of like being at school, and I'm done with all of the songs, just like mixing them right now. But it's the project, which like we're all working on a project, you know. But it's just about like what I kind of touched on in the beginning, like living. I wrote these songs like throughout like the course of like a lot of change in my life, where I was like kind of moving in and out of like different friendships and like relationships with people, and kind of like just lost in like this spot where I was like trying to find a place to do something. And so I have 4 of the songs that are out, and then it's 4 more that are coming out. But I've sent in demos of like most of them for the most part already.
So we've heard the full album.
Yeah, basically, like super unmixed and unfinished before, obviously. But yeah, no, it's. I really just wanted to touch on like this person specifically that like I met in my like.
Pause.
Sorry. It's not about you, Micah. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna suck your dick right now. Maybe after the pod.
Okay,
but all right, yeah. So, but no, yeah, I met this like individual. I won't like name drop, but like, it was like just during a time where like I really needed like somebody to tell me to like prioritize myself and like stop focusing on everything else and everyone else, but just like really take the time to like look at yourself and like fix yourself so that you could like be better for everyone else around you. Because I think for a long time I was kind of almost like I found my happiness in trying to make other people happy, and like when I couldn't do that, I found myself in the like worst spots of like my life. So yeah, I met this person, and like they were the first person to really like make me like change my point of view of like how I prioritize like seeing myself, and then also like how just like treating yourself properly and being like the best for yourself is the only way that you like, that's so cliche to say. That's the only way that you can like really provide for other people around you, because you have to like have yourself on your shoulders to be able to carry other people. And like
That was a bar, dude.
and that, yeah, and,
Write that down.
but no, like that's something that I just like genuinely have learned over this time. So I broke off a lot of friendships and a lot of people, and just went through a really like tough time in my life where I was alone, and it hurt for a lot of it. But then I started to see the repercussions of like putting yourself in that spot, and then allotting yourself to like meet new people, enjoy your life. And then in those moments is when I created this music that I was like searching for, I really wanted to make, but I couldn't do it at the time. And I was just like, it was almost like I was waiting for these moments to happen, just like be prepared for them and then go. So yeah, this project I'm making is really centered around not necessarily that person, but almost just like what that person did for me and how it navigated me from where I was at that point to where I am now, and then like what is to come from the future of that. So I'm really excited to put it out, and like just like the feedback I get from you guys all the time is super awesome. But yeah, no, it's meaningful, and I'm glad that it is, because it's something that I took time to like flesh out, and I didn't want to rush it out or just do it as something just because like I wanted to live my life like I was explaining, and like find these moments. And then once I was in the position to where I could like execute them, I did. And yeah, I hope people like it.
That's the goal at the end of the day.
But yeah, I wanted to get that out. Yeah, that was like my like general breakdown on my music, I guess, for the future. Yeah.
And then like going forward with that, like let's say like someone listens to this for the first time, has never heard your music before. Like what would you say to them like before jumping in? Like what should they know about you or anything before they hear your music?
Just like, it's like real life, you know, like I feel like I never, I played both sides of the coin, where I'm like, I feel like I show the best sides of me, and like how you can feel so excited and overjoyed and like I'm the man in moments, but then also like this other side of being a man where you're weak and not exactly like who you need to be in that moment. You know, like I feel like I blend and I'm trying to like talk to like those specific people, but not because like that was my choice. Like this is just like what I am putting out. And if I'm going to like try to gain an audience or like call to anybody, it's like those like broken people that are like in the middle, but just like, it's not that you want to stay broken forever. It's just like you genuinely are so stuck on one thing that you are trying to figure out a way to move out of it. And so like, I think that's what the music is just me figuring it out, you know? So there's moments where it's like, I'm at the peak of like, I'm the best. And there's moments where it's like, couldn't get any lower than this, you know? But like, I want to show that because I feel like that's genuine. And I think that a lot of people tuck that to the side, including myself in the normal day to day. But if like, there's anything, whether it's music or like art or sports, like whatever that can like make you tap out of those feelings and not feel like you're alone in them. Like, I think that's what I feel like I've like recently just been called to do, especially like with this music right now.
That's dope.
And a little follow-up question. Micah said, if someone's not heard your music, not anything, and they're about to start, do you have a song that you think they should start with?
Yeah, give him the lore. What's the starting lore song? You know.
Okay, yeah. So, well, I'm done with this song, so I'm probably gonna release it in like 3 weeks. But it's called Inner Circle, and that'll be the first one on the track or on the EP. But yeah, that's the beginning song. Is the chorus is just like, who's your inner circle, who's your best friend, like who are the people that are gonna stick around, and like it was genuinely just during this time where like I was bouncing around a lot of like unhelpful friendships and relationships. And so like the story of the song is just like me, like I was here in a spot where like I'm losing a lot of friendships, feeling like I'm nowhere. And then the song itself just is like a story. Like it's all rap, but just from the beginning to the end of it, it's like how I started at this like spot where everything felt really bad and I had no friends, to finding friends, and then what these friends do for me and how I do things back for them is like the first full song. And then it goes into like how I'm grateful about these people in my life and what I need to do back for them. Like this feeling I have, this almost like this heavy carrying feeling that I need to provide for these people that have given me what I needed this whole time, you know? And so, yeah, it's really just a long story about a broken dude that's just like trying to figure it out, really. And like it gets figured out. And so I'm proud of it. Yeah, like I love the fact that I made a story. It's the first time I made like a genuine story where it's like, if you listen to it from front to back, I feel like you can really almost tap into like a lot of spots that I was like in at the time.
That's dope.
So if you mess with me, like you're gonna mess with like the music. And so that's what I hope, you know.
Boom. Authentic.
Boom.
Well, do we ask our last question? You want to just like?
I was kind of assuming that was your last
I
question.
think it was. Do you have anything else that we haven't said that you would like to say right now?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll just like say really quick, like for everyone here, like I'm super thankful for like all of you guys, and I'm just like, excuse me,
That was that was like a clap sample hidden in there, bro.
Someone sample that real quick.
But just continue, like for you guys as like podcasters and just like growing this company, like continue to do what you're doing, because like I know that I'm not the only person that like you guys are going to do this for, and I feel like I want to see like you guys also like grow in this company of like giving like what you guys like did for me to other people for like a long time. Because like I said, from the like beginning of it, like there were a lot of people that just didn't listen to my music, didn't like it, and it only took one person to flip it around and give me the confidence to really like, not even like it just took like sending it into you guys and like getting hyped up from the chat or whatever, like to gain the confidence to do it. And now like I'm in a spot where it's like I don't think that I would make bad music anymore, because I feel like genuinely in a spot where like I got it all. So yeah, sorry to ramble, but like just thank you guys and continue to like do it. And I'm always going to support and like, subscribe.
That's our outro. No,
Well, out of curiosity,
Yeah.
do you know the outro? Do you think you could do it?
Just run me through it so I don't like mess it up.
Okay, but and then we cut this bit out.
Okay.
I think it would be funny.
keep it in.
You're gonna keep this in? Perfect. Of all the things that you're gonna have to cut out, you leave this in. Okay, bet.
Only
So-
your shortcomings, not mine.
Okay. No, you got it. You kill it.
Okay,
I'm
you
sorry.
want me to do-
But because I'm gonna mess it up and then I'm gonna stutter. It's just be so bad. I'll be like, okay, but Micah, where can we find you at?
The Walmart. The local one.
Micah, where can everybody find you at?
Oh, wow. Well, you can find me at Walmart as well as Instagram and Twitter under Shoelace Music, spelled SHOOLACEMUSIC. And if I'm in Walmart, I will be in the deli section looking for some meat. You know what I'm saying?
What a munch.
Elijah, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Instagram at 3lijah Music. And yeah, that's like my only social at the moment right now. So unless you want to hit my number. And that's
Yeah. And we also need the social security number, your mother's maiden name, and your family pet.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
Okay,
I'll hit in the DM.
Okay, but
oh, you want it on stream?
Yeah,
All right, so that's gonna be 603.
That's awesome.
All right, and my name is Finlay. You can find me on Instagram at Finlay Did It, because who did it?
Didn't fit it.
That's right. You can find Roseflower Records at Roseflower Records on Instagram and TikTok, at Roseflower Records on Twitter while it's still around, and at www.roseflowerrecords.com. Elijah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Toodaloo. So 1 horsepower.
Dude.